Hello to another video in this series of 3D configurations, and today I'm going to show how to mount a Nocpix Ace H50 on a Blaser R8 Professional with a match barrel. So a customer or a visitor to our YouTube channel wrote, can you check Blaser R8 Professional with match barrel and Nocpix Ace H50? What mount to get the optic to the right eye relief? So why is this question important? Basically with thermal rifle scopes, there is always a problem that their eye relief is much shorter than on normal scopes. That means that they have to be mounted far more backward than with normal mounts. So let's jump in it and let's see Blaser R8. We'll configure it, the Professional, with a match barrel. Okay, so we'll go with the Professional Savannah stock. I like it. I also have it personally in this color. And with the barrel, so match 22 millimeters fluted. Well, the caliber is really not important. Length, also 600 millimeters, it's enough. So the main emphasis will be on the eye relief. Okay. So let's go with H50. Sit here. Okay, so we have an R version with a laser rangefinder, a normal one. I will go with a normal one, even though they're basically completely the same. And now I will first try and see the distance with a normal mount. So with an 18 millimeter high, normal Blaser original mount. And we will measure the distance to the end of the barrel. Okay, so we see that 18 millimeters is not enough, so our engine has not learned this, that there is, the gap here is just too small. So we will go with a 21 millimeter height. Then it's going to be okay. We'll choose the scope, we'll push it backward. Okay, and now let's measure the distance to the lens. So we have 29.3 millimeters, 29.3 centimeters distance between the lens and the end of the stock. So the horizontal measure would be 29 centimeters. This would be okay for a traditional scope, but not for a thermal one. The thermal one, you need around 26, 25, something between there. So we see that with the original mount, it won't work. So we will have to swap the mount for something a little bit more towards the back. So let's try mock mount. We saw that this will go with 20 millimeter height. Okay, and we can push it a little bit further back, something like this. I think we need to check it here. Yeah, you see it's just a small gap here. Maybe we can push it a little bit like this. No, we are already hit something. Okay, this is going to be enough. And now let's measure to see what we achieved now. Okay. So now we have 27. I would say still 1 centimeter too short. So what we can do is we can keep the same mount. So MIK, and let's go a little bit higher. And then we'll be able to push it a little bit backward, the scope again. Let's see how far. No. Okay, I see I will need to move the ring here, yeah. Okay, because this front ring on this mount was a problem. Let's see if we can do it a little bit more. You can see with the MIK mounts, you're able to move the rings forward and rearward, each one of them. No. So you can see all the movements here are just in tenths of a millimeter. So let's see now where we are with all the distances. 26.5, yeah, this would work. This is on the upper side, but this would work. And maybe it would be even better to have it like half a centimeter more than optimal, because if you have a strong kicking rifle, this will even help you to avoid the scope hitting your face. So I would say this is probably the optimal mount. It is a little bit high, but I would say still with the thermal rifle scopes, you usually don't shoot on really extreme distances. So this would be one option. This would definitely be one option. I can try with another more specific mounts made for night vision optics. Here is for 80M4, but basically it's just meant for all thermal and digital night vision scopes. But you can see that even with this mount, you will not gain more. No, even here, the result is going to be very, very similar. So let's see. Yeah, it's identical. It's just 0.3 millimeter of a difference. So basically, either we're MIK or with this Inamount. Both of these two options will work. Another far more, I would say, for me at least, aesthetically not really pleasing option is, I think if we go into configure, we'll get the same rifle now, because the system remembered our last choice. Yeah. If I would click load default, I will get a different rifle. I would get the Ultimate Carbon, I think. So another option how to do this and to mount it really backward, especially if the shooter is smaller. If you are 165 or something like that, or even less, then you have one additional option, that is to use a Picatinny rail and 2 rings. Then you can really push it backward a lot. So let's try this option as well. So we can just go with a fixed Picatinny mount from Inamount, or we can go with a original removable mount, and now we can put on the rings. Let's say if the Picatinny rail is the quick detachable, then the rings can be fixed. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. So if we move this backwards as much as possible. I was going a little bit too extreme. And again, we are not that much. No, it's like we gained, it was 26.4, now it's 24.6.2, so we gained only 2 millimeters. But it is true if we swap the mount. So let's say if we go with the, I will have to remove the filters because now the system is calculating everything from the start. So if I go with the higher mounts, I can push it even further backward. But honestly speaking, I would probably go with the MIK mounts. And yeah, a bit here. Okay, so now in this configuration, which is honestly speaking really not beautiful, you came under 25 centimeters, 24.82. Now this is the option where you can really push it backward as much as possible, but look, it doesn't look beautiful. Honestly speaking, go with an MIK mount or Inamount for night vision scopes, and it will be a much better choice than this one, even though you gain additional centimeter with this. Okay, thank you for watching. You can subscribe to gain access to this tool in the beginning, in the Q1 of 2026, in the description of this video below. And I will also put all 3 assemblies which I showed now in the description, so you can check them in detail and see all the products used. And if you have any similar issues, if you'd like to have a similar video for your mounting issue, just don't be shy, use comments or send us an email at info@opticstrade.eu. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.